What's up, YouTube? This is Kyle, aka Good Guy 1493, aka K Carp. Just an update on the mill deck. Instead of posting a new deck list, I decided to make a new video. A little bit easier, a little more fun this way. So this is my mill deck. If you don't know, you can win by forcing your opponent to deck out. So this is what this deck does. Got 3 needleworms. Gotta definitely run 3 needleworms in this deck. Flips, your opponent discards 5 cards from the top of the deck. So great way to mill. Give your opponent's deck. 3 Destiny Hero Defenders. I'm kind of thinking about taking out one of these guys, but as for now, 3 is going to be in. 2700 defense, so kind of hard to destroy by most monsters. And if it's in face-up defense position, your opponent gets to draw during their standby phase. So a little bit of mill, mostly for hold. Got 3 more for draw number 2s. Basically, this card sends all of your opponent's monsters back to their deck, and same with yours. And you have to pick up the same amount of monsters, and you can put them face down on the field. So great way to get through your deck and to get your flip effects and get rid of your opponent's monsters and do some milling in the process. Got 3 AD changers. Basically, this is a Book of Tayu. If it's in your graveyard, you can remove it from play to change the battle position of one monster on the field. If a card's face down, when the battle position's changed, it's basically flip face up. So, like I said, basically a Book of Tayu. Might take out one of those from the deck, but not sure yet. Got 2 Wormworms. You can run 3, but I run 2. I think 3 is too much for the deck. If this card is destroyed by anything, your card effect, your opponent's card effect, whatever, you mill 3 cards from the top of your opponent's deck. So, good card for the deck. 1 Morphing Jar, the engine in the deck. Gives you some draw power. Mills to your opponent's deck. It does it all for the deck. 1 Marshmallow. Hard to see, but there you go. 1 Marshmallow. Basically for stall, can be destroyed by battle. Spirit Reaper for stall as well, can be destroyed by battle, but it can be destroyed if it's targeted by a card effect. 1 Stereopad Bronchion. The only tributing card in this deck, basically it's an unlimited Book of Moon. You flip one of your cards, and you flip this card, and every card in the field goes face down, and this card can be flipped face down once per turn. So you can just flip it face down, keep using your cards, and eventually you get through your opponent's deck. 1 Sagan to search for basically any card in the deck except for X-Saber Arabellum and your Scrap Beast. So everything else can be searched for. Speaking of X-Saber Arabellum, there he is. He's basically meant to synchro for Voltic Bicorn because it needs a Beast Tuner, and this is a Beast Tuner with 3 stars. So great way to synchro for that card. And synchro for anything else, really. 1 Super Warrior Tyro, kind of for stall. This card can be destroyed by battle, but if any card in the field is destroyed, it doesn't really matter what it is on your opponent's side of the field, your side of the field, it's returned to the top or back to your hand. So it's also a tuner as well, so good card for the deck. And then 1 Scrap Beast, meant for synchroing. Has a little bit of hold. If it's in defense position, it can't be destroyed by battle, but when it's attacked, it's destroyed at the end of the battle phase. So a little bit of hold, but mainly meant for synchroing. And the last card with the unlimited amount of stars is my Exodus, the Ultimate Forbidden Lord. You can special summon this card from your hand, and once you do, all of your monsters goes back to your deck in your graveyard. So a good card for this deck to help you reuse your cards. On to the spells / magic. I can still call them magic cards. I'm old school like that. Basically, what do we got here? We got Messenger of Peace. This card, all monsters of 1500 attack or more cannot attack, but you have to give 100 life points to each one of your standby phases. So that's not 100 life points doesn't really matter. Good for stall. This deck's all about stalling. We got 2 Gold Sarcophaguses. This deck's kind of big, so it's good to have some search power, and Gold Sarcophagus gives you that. If I am searching for anything, I usually go for either Needleworm, Stereopod, Morphing Jar, or a hold card if I don't have one. So, got 2 Book of Moon to flip the card face down. 2 Book of Tayu, the shotgun card of the card, as I like to call it. Basically, you play a card face down, and you play it and flips it. You can flip it face up right away. So, good card for that. 2 Book of Eclipse, basically Book of Moon, flip every card on the field face down, and at the end phase, your opponent flips all of his cards face up. So, kind of a good way to mill and get your cards face down. I love running field cards in this deck, so I have 1 Ancient Forest. Basically, if your opponent attacks, the card is destroyed at the end of the battle phase, but also all defense position monsters are flipped face up, and the flip effects don't go through, so you have to flip your cards first and then go with the effect. So, just be careful with that card, but good way to force your opponent to kind of not want to attack. It's good with his cards. We got 2 Course Sanctuaries. All monsters in the defense position gain 500 defense. So just good way to help stall. 1 card Destruction, basically meant for milling. Help out your hand if you don't have anything you can play. Good combination with Morphing Jar, definitely. 1 level area B for stall. Level 4 higher monsters can't attack or play in defense position. 1 monster reborn to reuse cards. 1 monster reincarnation to reuse cards. Swordsman Light for stall. Lightning Vortex, just in case you blow up your opponent's side of the field. On the traps, we got 2 Dark Bribes. I'd like to run 3, but they're pretty expensive. You can negate any spell or trap card, and the opponent draws 1 card. So meant for or helps with milling, helps out with saving your cards when you need to. 1 Gravity Bind. All level 4 or higher monsters can't attack, so good for stall. Scrub Raid, just recently released actually. Another stall trap card basically for the deck. You destroy 1 of your cards, and it ends the battle phase completely. So good way to stall your opponent when you need to, especially with those lower level monsters attacking or lower attacker monsters attacking. 1 Assault on JHQ, good combo with Worm. When he's destroyed, you mill 3 obviously, and then this card, when you destroy 1 of your monsters to mill 2 cards, so 5 cards right there. 1 Horn of Heaven, tribute 1 of your monsters to negate the summon of 1 of your opponent's monsters. So good way to stop Judgment Dragon or stop whatever you need. Last card, Appropriate. If your opponent draws outside his draw phase, which does happen quite a bit in this deck, you could draw 2 cards. So a good way to get through your deck. I do run Synchros in this deck. You don't have to, but I do just in case. You got 1 Scrap Dragon, blow up 1 of your cards, blow up 1 of your opponent's cards, so good for that. Infernal is actually not supposed to be in here. I just like him. 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon. This card is like meant for, not really meant for mill decks, but I think if you're gonna run any sort of synchro, definitely think about running this card. 3,000 defense right there, so really hard to destroy. Good for holding. You can just blow up a field card to go get 1 of your own field cards. So great way to get Ancient Forest, which is a great one of like the main field cards in this deck. And also you can special summon a level 4 lower monster from your hand if you don't enter your battle phase. So good way to stall, get your monsters on the field. Just does all sorts of stuff for this deck. 1 Stardust. If you synchro early in the game, Stardust is a great card to get early to protect your cards and just protect yourself. Just good way for protection. 1 Iron Chain Dragon. Just also another early synchro card. If it does battle damage, your opponent mills 3 cards. So that's pretty good, I suppose. And I have 3 Voltic Bicoins. I've actually pulled. I think I traded 1 off, or I traded and got 1, but I traded that one away. I've actually pulled all 3 of these. But there's no reason to really have 3. There's almost no reason to have 1. If you really don't want to have 3, you can just have 1. But I run 3 just because they're cool looking. They're fun to have. So on to the side deck. Dust Tornado, just in case you hit a skill drain deck, you have to be able to destroy it. Twister for skill drain. 2 Prohibitions, meant for Light Sworn decks to stop Judgment Dragon from being able to summon. Necro Valley, I suppose someone told me this screws up Light Sworns. I'm not sure if that's true, but I'm gonna get some more card rolling on that. 1 Disparar, stop Assault Mode decks from happening. 2 Massive Restricts for Monarchs, basically. This card says you can't tribute any cards for any reason. 1 Light of Destruction also for Light Sworns. And Wall of Light, just in case you run into a deck that has lower attacking monsters, you can put this in there. So that's the deck. Look out for 2 more decks I'm making. I'm making a Life Burn, Smochi Life Burn deck, which is in progress. Trying to get some nurses, trying to get some more cards. It's about half done right now. And I'm also thinking about making a Zombie Mill deck, because this mill deck's actually quite slow. So I'm hoping to get a deck that can mill a little bit faster, and that Zombie Mill deck requires certain cards, but it can do it real quick. So thanks for watching the video.